Hi witches! So today we're talking about a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. We're talking about cleansing. As a hearth witch, I cleanse all the time, and as a Virgo, I like to keep my house relatively clean. I'm also depressed, so it doesn't always work, but I do my best, and it always makes me feel better to have a clean house. So cleansing your space is a really beautiful aspect of your craft that can really help with self-care, and I think that it's just good in general, but if you can make it kind of witchy, it's even better. So here's some ways that you can personally cleanse your space. Number one is literally just like clean your house. And I know that this is not necessarily a low energy task, and I know that it can be very hard sometimes, but even if you are starting with one corner of your room or your sacred space and you just fiddle with some stuff and put things away and or make things more aesthetically pleasing, it can help a lot. So when you're living in chaos, your energy itself can become chaotic, and cleaning your physical house can just help put things back in order, and it's like a methodical task that you can just do, or at least for me, I'll put in a podcast and just do it, and sometimes it takes me 3 days to do one thing, but at least it gets done, and then I feel a sense of accomplishment and I feel good about myself. So the first part of cleansing, definitely just cleaning your house or your room or your space and stuff like that. So number two, and this is a very popular way of cleansing that I see on the internet. It is very theatrical, but that is smoke cleansing. Smoke cleansing is done by burning either incense or resin or a bundle of dried herbs and wafting the smoke around your house or your space. So I personally make rosemary and lavender herb bundles in the spring and summertime when I have access to those herbs, and I did it way more when I lived at my parents' house because my mom had a beautiful garden. But I use that to cleanse my space. Otherwise, I'll use either some kind of incense. I use dragon's blood usually. So I know that right now it is popular to use white sage to cleanse your space. Or at least it has been in the past. I don't know so much anymore. I think there's more awareness about this, but white sage is not only endangered, but it is part of a closed practice. So if you're going to cleanse your space and you want to use sage, which again kind of smells like illicit drugs when you burn it, so just be careful. But if you use common sage, definitely you can do that, but if it's white sage, it's endangered and used in closed practice, so maybe try to stay away. But basically, if you're using incense, just cleanse with incense. If you're using an herb bundle, be careful. I always have a bowl underneath to catch any ashes so I'm not tracking stuff around the house. And you basically light the end of the bundle and waft the smoke around. Walk through your house like that. You might need to light it a couple times, and that's okay. And that should kind of clear out the energy, and it might, it always leaves my house smelling pretty good. So just be careful, and that's how you smoke cleanse. Okay, so the third method, during the full moon, I try to make a fresh batch of moon water, and I infuse it with a quartz crystal and rosemary, so a few sprigs of it. I'm a huge advocate for using rosemary to cleanse. It's beautiful, and it has very protective properties, but also banishing properties. So if you ever are feeling negative energy and you're just definitely use that to cleanse. So I will infuse that overnight and or even if it's just for a couple hours, whatever. Keep it in a jar, quartz crystal and rosemary, let it charge under the moon or on my altar with the other things that I'm charging. Though I usually will go out and literally just hold that in the moonlight and charge it with cleansing energy and intention. Sometimes I'll put lavender in there too if my energy is just really out of whack. But I will put it in a misting spray bottle and I will spray each room and kind of use that to cleanse. I'll often do that with smoke cleansing. So there's two, an element of fire, an element of earth, an element of water, an element of air. It's all kind of there. So that's how I do that personally. And then the fourth and final method, using crystals. So crystals are a new thing to me, like I said, but I have found, definitely have found, and this is a common I don't know, I don't want to say common knowledge because I feel like that sounds condescending, but a commonly held thought that placing clear quartz or selenite above the threshold of your house will draw away negativity as you pass under it. Selenite can also be used to cleanse other crystals. It can be used to cleanse your tarot decks or your tools, anything like that, your altar, yourself. So I tend to like literally take like a piece of selenite and like literally that one right there, and I will walk, like starting at my altar, I will walk the perimeter of my apartment and, you know, do like a full circle, come back in here when I'm done, and back at my altar, and just like walk the perimeter with a piece of selenite. Sometimes I'll put it on the wall, but like that sound also like sets my teeth on edge. So I don't necessarily do that, but like all the time. But I just use that to like draw out any negative energy that might be like hiding or something, and just anything residual. So after I do my smoke cleansing and my moon water cleansing, I will take a selenite crystal and just walk the perimeter. So these are just some of my personal ways that I cleanse, and these are like just some personal suggestions. There are tons of methods of cleansing, and if you have anything else that you do, definitely leave it down below. But I hope that these are like good examples for your Book of Shadows, and you know, are something that you can either try out and like write down your experiences in your Book of Shadows, or if you have another method, just, you know, your general method of cleansing, I think is really good to have like written down specifically. So there's that. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.